So next we're gonna look into how to cut the thicker faux leather, the stretchy ones that I showed earlier. So for that we're gonna need to look into custom material, because that's not a Cricut brand, so you unlikely to have the preset already. So I'm gonna click on the 3 bars on the top left there to the menu, and then you're gonna go manage custom materials. This will load all the materials. For this I actually already test and get the correct setting, but let's take a look at the letter first. This is the one that I created, the preset manually. Let's look for the metallic, this one, the metallic leather that I showed in the video earlier. So this one has deep point blade and it cuts 4 times, and that's the pressure. So 4 passes is a lot, and that's a lot of pressure too, and that's because the genuine leather, this one, is quite tough to cut through. And since this is a soft leather that I'm gonna be cutting, the pink leather, so this is the Cricut brand. It's only 1 pass at 260, and this is my custom setting. So I'm using deep point blade because the material is quite thick, and the deep point blade is longer, so it's less likely to get caught while cutting. So the sharp part will be in contact with the cut area all the time, so it's like less likely to drag it off the mat. And I test multiple times and I came up with a 230 pressure with 2 times pressure. You can, 2 times cut, you can actually use less pressure because this is a really soft leather compared to the real genuine leather, where the pressure at the 300 something, and it requires 2 passes just to make sure it cuts through because it's thick. And it's not good to do 1 pass, because if you just cut deep right away, it has a higher chance of getting caught onto the material and dragging it off the mat. Okay, so just go back up and we're gonna go make it, and I'm gonna drag it here. So the reason why I didn't leave it at the corner is so that I can put tape around it to secure it, so I know that my material gonna be on the mat at 1-1 at this point, 1-1. So I'm just gonna leave more space so I can put tape over it. Let's continue. And I already have it added as favorite, so it's right here. Or if it's not on your favorite, just search it. And that's the one that I added in there. Right here. here, the tool deep point blade. So you need to load the deep point blade into the clamp B. Okay, let's continue to the other view. Okay, so this is the material. It's soft but thick. This is one of the hardest material to get a successful cut, because it can lift it from the mat very easy, because these pebble patterns, they are raised quite high, so there's not much contact area to the mat. So right now it seems to stick pretty good, but when it start cutting and when it's cutting thin strip, so the contact area becomes so much less that it will just pop right off the mat. So we're gonna secure that onto the mat. Yeah, secure. So the cut should be here and here. So I don't really need tape down here. Now let's go to the machine view. I actually forgot to switch the blade. So what happens when something like this happens? You can actually just close it and without ejecting the mat, so that it keeps in the same position. because I already had one single cut go in there. So if I eject the mat and put it back in, it will not cut at the same spot. So what happened is that I just took out the blade and let it run, unpause. So as you can see, since I had the fine point blade in there, even though my setting is to use the deep point blade, it does not actually detect which is which. The machine doesn't have the capability to detect that. It does detect the tools that are maker exclusive, such as the knife blade. It will be able to tell you that if you have the wrong blade in there, request you to put the right blade in this case, because this is deep point blade and the fine point blade, it couldn't tell the difference. Notice it took much longer because this is actually a 2-pass. So again, we started out with the wrong blade and it started cutting already. So I didn't want to stop and start over, because if you eject the mat, it will not cut in the same spot. So now it's done. I'm gonna put the blade in. I wasn't able to put it when it was parsed, like I couldn't put it flush because it was all the way at the bottom. Now it should be fine. Now we're going to cut again without ejecting the mat. This will make it cut down the exact same spot. Not sure if you can see, it's getting lifted up. I paused it right here. See if it's getting lifted up. So you just pause it and press it back down. This is what happens when you're cutting with the material that doesn't stick well to the mat. So it's a problem material, but it's a good material. I like the texture of this faux leather. Unpause. So for something like this, you need to carefully watch it. Here, right here, you can easily see it. this is the line that was cut with the fine point blade that I forgot, so it's actually cut through already. So I'm just gonna press it back down, flatten it, continue. Because this is a soft material, as the blade go over it, it actually drag the material a little bit. So see, because it keep on dragging and dragging, it lifts the material up. So it's a good idea to pause it frequently and press the material back onto the mat. Unpause. That's also one of the reasons why I have one of the copy that doesn't have a complete cut through, so it stay in contact with the material, so it's less likely to pop out of the mat. See, you can just press it back down. So you can just keep on pausing multiple times as needed. Don't stick your finger in while it's running. Make sure to pause it, and then you can flatten it to the mat. Don't do this while it's running, so in case you hurt yourself. Here, the edges are the most easy to get lifted from the mat. That's why I put tape there, and even though with tape it still get lifted. Continue. Push it back down. See, when the blade drag onto the material, if the blade is too short, it has a higher chance of dragging the material. So that's why I use a deep point blade. Just press it back down. Continue. See this point right here? I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is where it gets dragged. It's a lot of work doing something like this, but it's well worth it. See, this is get lifted up, but it's already done. So normally you just press it back down. Okay, we're done. We're gonna eject. Let's fill it out of the mat. Okay, so first thing, take the tape out. See the close up the cuts. So this is actually normal. See where it get dragged and does not give you a smooth cut. So you need to trim those with scissors, sharp scissors, and you can use a lighter to burn the edges off too. This one is still stick to the original material, so the cut is have a higher chance of coming out intact and not get ruined. For example, if you weren't there pausing the machine and pressing the material back down constantly, the other piece it would have got lifted up and will have ruined your design already. So let's see, just separate it, and then you just need to use a scissor to trim the break point where it still stick to the material, the large piece. That's it. Let's go to the next view. Sharp scissors, trimming the edges if necessary. See those things there? You can peel it off with your finger if you could. Just need to be careful not to cut into your design. You can also use a lighter to burn off the uneven edges, but be careful with that because the faux leather are made of plastic, so they burn quite easy, and you may end up burning your design and making it unusable. Just cut it off of the design. Just fold it. Fold it. You can fold either side, whichever side you like. And just cut with the scissors. You can fold this way or this way, whichever easy to see for you, because like this it's quite difficult to see, so when you fold it you know where exactly to cut. Of course, that's only because I'm picky and I like to have my design stay intact, so even though this is a lot more work having to manually cut it out, but it's well worth it as long as your design come out perfectly cut. Again, there are little phrases there. Pick it out if possible. Put the edges here. Trim it up. just finish up trimming it and we're done. That's it. With the faux leather, that's extremely difficult compared to the other materials, since it refuses to stay in contact with the mat. So you have to constantly pause to make sure that it doesn't get lifted and then it'll cut in the wrong spot, and that defeats the purpose of having a die cut machine. You may as well just hand cut it. That's it. And we're gonna see if we can cut the genuine leather.